Good morning and happy Thursday. If you've been here at the Baltimore Washington Conference, you may not know what day it is, but it's Thursday. It's Thursday and it's Thursday morning. It has been rainy. If you haven't been outside, it's been raining the whole time we've been here. So you haven't missed much. The Orioles did fit in a doubleheader yesterday, but it's going to continue to be rainy today, which is just fine because we'll be inside together here for pretty much the entire day before we head home. So just to recap on last night, I didn't want to post last night because it had been a long day. We ended up going later than we had planned. So yesterday, after some hiccups with balloting, there had been some concern that folks were, when we were balloting on constitutional amendments, some folks whose devices worked who shouldn't. So we redid that after we came back in the afternoon. We're able to move through the first two constitutional amendments quickly. Remembering that we don't get the results of those because they're added to the aggregate vote of the annual conferences. And we're told that we'll hear the results from the General Board of the General Commission on the General Conference in November of this year, after all annual conferences have met. Folks are beginning to come now for Bible study. You can see the hallway behind me. This is the hallway outside the ballroom. And folks are beginning to arrive. We have Bishop Cynthia Moore-Cocoy will be leading our Bible study again today, and that's going to be at 8:30 with music starting at 8:15. Also yesterday, after we worked through the balloting for constitutional amendments, we had several other things. We got into the resolutions, but we weren't able to work through them. The hope had been that we would be able to get through the resolutions before dinner. That did not happen. And so as Bishop Easterling said that we should expect if that happened, we did come back into session in the evening. And in summary, all of the resolutions passed with only just a couple of edits. The faith statement that was the first resolution, I think we ended up changing the name to an African American statement of faith. And so otherwise the language of the statement stayed the same. Of course, annual conference can't add anything to the hymnal or approve official statements, but as a resource for local churches, and it'll be up to the presenter whether they want to pass that along to general conference, which is where official resources of the denomination, one of the ways that could be promoted. So the annual conference can't do it. So just as a resource and awareness for congregations. I also want to thank folks for supporting the clergy equity and vacation resolution that I introduced. That's really going to help us, our work as the cabinet, really support our clergy to make sure that every pastor is eligible for 4 weeks of vacation, whatever that week is. So if they're quarter time, a quarter of a week of work, if they're full time, and we're limited by time. And certainly we were working efficiently last night, but I did want to just continue to encourage folks, make sure you take your vacation. There's no award at the end of your ministry for vacation you didn't take. So please take it. Laity, encourage your clergy, support them to take their vacation as well. And if you need any help figuring out how to provide coverage, talk to your district superintendent, talk to colleagues to find out what they're doing. We also celebrated several categories of ministries, including Earth Keepers, CLMs. So we had a celebration of service. We had a passing of the mantle from those who are retiring to those getting ordained. So that was a great service today. As we move through today, we've got a full day, including session after lunch. And so you may remember sometimes if you're used to ordination being like after a meal, make sure you come back after lunch because we're going to continue to have business, and we still have voting items today. So those voting items will contain things like the budget, administrative committee reports and work, budget, minimum compensation. And so those are some of the things that are going to be before us. So again, Bible study at 8:30, 9:30, we're scheduled to convene for our business session, and we'll receive the laity address from our wonderful new lay leader, Amelia Durasco, and then our stewardship reports. So those administrative reports. So pensions, equitable comp, finance and administration. We're also going to be hearing information from WestPath about the new clergy pension retirement plan that was passed by General Conference. And clergy have already heard a presentation on that at clergy session. There's been a lot of information that came out There's a lot of information. It came out around General Conference last time, before General Conference voted to move forward. And so I'm sure they'll do a great presentation, but I really encourage clergy and laity, if you're helping to kind of walk your clergy through that, to make sure you avail yourself of all of the resources. You can Google WestPath and Compass, and that will pull up pages that will take you to text pages, videos that will give you all sorts of information. So make sure you're checking those out. Also this morning, we're scheduled to receive some there's a few closed church resolutions, break for lunch, and then we'll come back. And in the afternoon, before the ordination and commissioning service, we're going to be recognizing, excuse me, whoops, my gimbal is going sideways. We're going to be recognizing those beginning new appointments. And nope, my gimbal's decided to break me. Okay, hold on. We're going to be celebrating new appointments, and as we wind down the business of the annual conference, we will, excuse me, we'll have closing motions. So that's what we have. We're going to continue working through. The good news is that having the evening session yesterday, I think looking at the agenda puts us back on schedule. So I don't think that we have business from yesterday. At least that was on the printed schedule that we have to make up. So that's good news, but let's continue to move forward with an economy of words, as Bishop Easterling sometimes invites us to, and do good work. And so I look forward to working with you all on this final day as we look ahead at launching into this new thing, our new districts, our hubs. I've gotten some great questions from folks about hubs. Folks are excited. And if you have questions or suggestions, please make sure to let us know so that we can continue to move forward toward a greater vitality, disciple making, community, kingdom impact together.